When it's playoff time, execution is everything. Every yard counts, every play matters, and that's exactly how Louis Wickett with Key Mortgage Group approaches every home loan. From central Iowa to every corner of the state, Louis helps clients get to the closing table with precision and confidence. Just like a great game plan, every detail is dialed in from pre-approval to closing day. Whether it's your first home or your dream home, Louis helps you move the chains and cross the goal line because when the pressure's on, execution matters most. Louis Wickett, Key Mortgage Group, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 1212160. Welcome in, everybody. Cade Nissen of IAfootball here, our Mr. IAfootball finalist show. Man, I can't believe the Unidome's already here. Super excited to see everyone again. Be sure to say hi if you see us, if you see me, if you see Eric, if you see any of our photographers. Go ahead, stop us, say hi. We love that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a busy week, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is what we've covered the sport all year for, and this is what all these teams that are still playing have obviously worked for. So we're excited to see all you guys and all the teams that maybe we don't see as much. But today we got a special show, and stick with me because I do have some announcements that will pertain to a lot of you. Before I get into Mr. IAfootball, first off, looking back at last week, no Nick Fox this week. I know I can't. Oh, and I just knocked myself out. There we go. Nope. There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know what I did there. But no Nick Fox this week. No one to talk crap to because I did close out Locks and Dogs. It was close. If you watched, it did come down to the wire. And I do have plenty of teams that I am going to be hearing from. I said last week that the quarterfinals are my least favorite for Locks and Dogs because whatever games you get wrong, you see the team right away the next week. So I'm expecting to hear from Nevada. I'm expecting to hear from both of the 4A teams, Newton and SBL, because I picked against them. I'm going to hear from South Hardin and South Hardin Diehard. I'm sure I'm going to hear from them because I had Trainer as a dog. And I'm sure I'm going to hear from Bishop Garrigan. I already saw some posts online about me and my lack thereof of knowledge of 8-man quarterfinals. So I'm excited to see everybody. I hope everyone knows that this is all fun and games, and I appreciate everyone tuning in to Locks and Dogs all year. So those are the teams I'm going to hear from, and that's okay because at the end of the day, I'm happy for everyone that made the Unidome. But moving on Rockfin, by the time you're watching this, so these are our other awards besides Mr. IAfootball that we are going to honor this year. And on Rockfin, you will be able to see the finalists for each of these awards. It is totally free. You do not have to be a subscriber. We will have the final four for best quarterback, for best running back, best wide receiver, defensive player of the year, underclassman of the year, and newcomer of the year. Yes, those can be kind of repeatable in the lower classes, but they're kind of meant to get some disparity up in the bigger classes. So yes, there will be some repeat winners there. Our two-way players, Final Four, and our surprise teams will also have a Dome MVP, but obviously we can't nominate people for Dome MVP yet. But those are the awards we're going to have. We have the Final Four over on Rockfin for each of those. And after the season, in that week, after the Dome, we will have our massive award show. Well, we will announce the winners of all the Mr. IAfootball, and we will announce the winners of each of these awards. So that is coming after the Dome. Again, rockfin.com/IAfootball today, as in Tuesday. Those will be up, and you will be able to see those for free. You can share that. You can say, hey, I'm honored to be up for best quarterback in class 3. I mean, post whatever you'd like, share that out, and after the Dome, we will get awards and kind of get a fun little show going for everybody. Speaking of the awards, I am looking a little unique idea I had. We are looking for the best play of the year candidates. You can email that to contact iafootball@gmail.com. I do have rules, so before you go and steal someone's clip, I do have rules. It has to be a huddle shot or a team camera shot. It can't be from the news. It could be from like a parent's cell phone, or someone. I just can't have. I can't have videos that aren't IAfootballs on here. So I can't have WHO. I can't have a KCRG shot. I need it to be simple and easy. Grab it off the huddle. If someone had a phone shot of it or someone took a video of it that you know is okay with you using it, send it to me and send who took the video so that I can properly credit and so that I don't get in any trouble. But for easy sake, I would just love a huddle shot or a team camera shot, whatever you guys use to get those angles. So best play could be anything, could be a crazy catch, crazy throw, crazy run, big hit, game-winning play. Whatever it is, we're looking for the best. And again, in our award show, we might do like a little top 10 countdown or something, depending on how many we get. So that is what I have here. This next slide. Quickly, before we go through, we will look at the old Mr. IA footballs before we get to the final fours in each class. And an interesting thing I'm going to see here, because I get asked, how do you nominate Mr. IA football? How do you weigh the best player? How do you weigh teams that are not on great teams, whatever? And interestingly enough, 2023 saw every single Mr. IA football winner play at the Dome. Now, not all these teams won their respective class. I mean, Grant Gloucester did not. Brennan Hayes did not. Reese did not. Colin Gordon did. Clunder did not. Clark did, and then Moberly did. So a nice balance there. Looking back at 2023 Mr. IA football and just showing off the guys that we've covered. Again, year 3 of IA football, and then looking back at 2024 and a stark contrast here. I mean, you don't have to make the Dome to win IA football. Does it help? Absolutely. But we're looking for the best player in the class, and sometimes the best player in the class doesn't make the Dome. Now, if you're making the Dome, does that help your case? Absolutely. So you try and weigh it all. And last year we had multiple players, Jack Wallace in 5A, Race Heitman in 3A, that won Mr. IA football and did not make the Dome. So it is possible. Is it less likely? Yes. But it is possible, and it kind of showed an interesting thing for me. And you love giving love to the old winners, because I mean these were the guys that started it. Obviously you see some guys back and whatnot, but fun to look back, and it'll be really fun, if we're still doing this 5-10 years from now and see, where these guys are and where those 2023 winners are in terms of the next level and following their future careers. So that's what I have. I believe the next slide is going to be our Class 5A Mr. IA football. So again, I'm well aware kids got snubbed. I'm well aware that we could not fit everyone on the list. This is the final 4. This was not easy. Our rankers handled all this. I helped when I needed to or when someone asked me opinions. But again, this is our separate team that does this, same people that rank your guys' class year in or week in and week out. So without further ado, Mr. IA football finalists in Class 5A. Quarterback heavy here, and in fact, 3 guys at the Unidome: Reese Reddick, Mac Heitland, Joey Nahas, and Cal Jepson. Congrats to our Mr. IA football Class 5A finalists. It just so happened where all these guys were under center, and 3 of these guys are leading their teams to the Unidome under center. I can tell you that final spot between Jepson and DeGroot was heavily debated on. If you go Drake DeGroot, I'm not gonna go against you, and he's a fantastic athlete, and we're rooting for the best. But our 5A ranker did decide to go Cal Jepson, and that was, I know, a really close call in this Class 5A race here. But this is who we got for Mr. IA football in Class 5A. Again, a bunch of talented quarterbacks, and with 3 of them playing at the Dome, it might just be the quarterback whose team comes out on top wins it. It's totally going to depend on that. Mac Heitland probably has the edge in a lot of the stats, but if Reddick goes and leads his team to a state title, it's going to be hard to argue against him as Mr. IA football. So a lot still yet to be determined in terms of kind of who's out in front. If, in my personal opinion, right now, I would lean Mac Heitland, but again, a lot of big games yet to play, so a lot yet to play for here in Class 5A, especially for Mr. IA football. So congrats to those winners. Again, these will be out on socials. I think we're going to put them out on socials. I think the team's going to do it Wednesday night or something, but this is what we got for Class 5A. Moving on to Class 4A, 3 quarterbacks and a running back, and 3 of these guys will be at the Unidome. Caden Klein of Newton, boy, he's been red hot. Cash Parts of Xavier, he's been red hot seemingly all year. Emmanuel Deers is doing it all for Pella. Man, he's just an electric athlete. And then Hudson Scholl, obviously the one name not at the Unidome, but a fantastic year from him. You get a Mr. IA football quarterback matchup in the semifinals between Caden Klein and Cash Parks. That's going to be a ton of fun. And then Emmanuel Deers, man, leading this Pella team back to the Unidome. They've won some really close games in these playoffs, and he's looking to get them back to a state title where they finished second last year. So again, in this race too, I would say there's a lot yet to play for. I'd say right now, I'd probably lean Cash Parks. Again, I'm not a ranker. I'm not the one that put these together, but if I had to look and lean, I'd say Cash Parks has had the best year statistically. But, Caden Klein goes and leads Newton to an upset in the semifinals. Stuff could change pretty quickly. So this is how Mr. IAfootball's finalists are looking in Class 4. You can go ahead and pause it if you need to, but we are off to Class 3A, where we only have two guys here in the Unidome. Eli Campman, quarterback for Solon, and Kaysen Thomas, running back and D end for Bishop Helen. The other two guys were fantastic quarterbacks that had great years. Kellen Haverback of Mount Vernon, and Hudson Krakow of Central DeWitt. Both those guys had fantastic years. Didn't get to the Unidome, but the numbers just were too hard to ignore for our Class 3A ranker, and they earn a spot as a finalist. But again, those guys in the Dome are going to have a large advantage in terms of kind of taking the lead and separating themselves. And Eli Campman is the best quarterback on now the best team wire to wire seemingly. Since like week 2, Solon's been number 1 in Class 3A. So he's been excellent. He's got great weapons around him. And Solon looks like the favorite right now in Class 3A if you're going straight off the seeding. They're going to have a tough test with Nevada, though, right out of the gate. So that's how Class 3A is looking. We will move on to Class 2A, where, again, two guys at the Unidome. Brock Bading of Kemper Catholic, Quinn Street of Osage, both those guys got their teams to the Unidome. And then Jackson Palstred kind of just forced himself onto this list in this postseason. Obviously came up short and losing to Kemper, but man, some fantastic weeks putting together. He had back-to-back 6 rushing touchdowns week, and he ends up as the Class 2A leader currently in rushing yards as a quarterback, which is extremely impressive. In that last spot, looking in Class 2A, I know it was kind of between Cal Boniface. I just realized his name is spelled wrong there. I will get that fixed. I do apologize. Lake and Caves was another guy right there. But just the numbers that Boniface put up, you can even throw Keenan Kilberg in here as a guy who was up there. A lot of tough finals, names to throw in the hat for that final spot and that 4th spot. Cal gets the nod. He had a fantastic year. Bellevue ends up a little short and bowing out a little sooner than they would have liked, but still a fantastic year, especially moving up 2 classes from Class A to 2A, as Bellevue's quarterback is going to get a nod as a Mr. IAfootball finalist. And right now, I think the leader in the clubhouse has to be Brock Bading. I don't know how you can argue otherwise. He's been fantastic. He's been the quarterback for the number 1 team wire to wire. And again, job's not finished, though, for him, and he would tell you that going into the Unidome, they got a lot still yet to prove. Heading into Class 2A. Again, those games will go off on Saturday. Moving on to Class 1A. Again, pause if you'd like, if you need to look at it more or screenshot it. But moving on to Class 1A, very quarterback heavy. You looked at the final 8 in Class 1A, our semifinalists for Mr. IAfootball. It was seemingly all quarterbacks, and these are the guys that get a nod as our finalists. Garrett Lutt, Peyton Welch, Kyle Tracy, and Judd Jarofsky. Obviously 3 guys led their teams to the Unidome. West Lyon, the other team at the Unidome that didn't have a guy on this list, and frankly, it's just because they didn't have any crazy stats, and I think they'd be okay with that because they're winning games handily, and their guys aren't playing in second halves very often. So, it's not that West Lyon doesn't have a player that deserves to be on this list because they probably have 3 or 4, but just going how Mr. IAfootball goes, it's kind of a heavy stat based award. Obviously, you're not factoring in stats totally. You're factoring in the eye test, and you're factoring in what you know. But West Lyon is the only Dome team without a guy on this list, and I'm sure that they trade that if it means a state title for their team. So still a lot yet to play for here, and a lot of these quarterbacks are going to get to match up against each other. Tracy and Jarofsky are going to get to do so right away in the semifinals. That one's going to be a ton of fun on Friday morning. And then Peyton Welch, obviously leading South Hardin to the Dome. He's been excellent. He's got great numbers, and he's got a great team around him. Excited to see him face off against that really talented West Lyon defense as well on Friday. Friday's got to be my favorite day at the Unidome. I'm not going to lie. That slate looks loaded. But that's what we got for Class 1A. Moving on to Class A. Way different landscape from Class 1A. We talked about how 1A is totally a quarterback award, seemingly, just how the stats go off. And Class A, you got 3 running backs here, and you got 1 quarterback. And Bo Burns, he's a quarterback, but he's got a ton of rushing yards. So you got 4 guys that prioritize, I'll say, that might be the better word, in rushing. So just funny how the class changes. In Class A seemingly is always a more running heavy class. So that's shown here in the Mr. IAfootball. Bo Burns, BGM, Jackson Gordon, Riverside, Hunter Curley, and Corbin Michaels, aka Mini Michaels. Ever since I saw his Instagram was named that, that's just the best nickname I could have come up with, and he's got it already. So obviously 2 of these guys at the Unidome. Jackson Gordon just had a fantastic year, just couldn't leave him off this list. And Bo Burns, same way, put up crazy numbers week in and week out. Doesn't quite get to the Unidome, but you can't disregard what he did. And I think our Class A ranker got it right in saying he's a top 4 player in this class. And I mean, we're gonna get Hunter Curley and Corbin Michaels matchup right away in the semifinals. So if a guy is able to show that he can carry his team in that game, is that going to maybe help him push himself to a Mr. IAfootball lead over a Burns or a Gordon, who maybe have the better numbers now, but weren't able to quite get to the Unidome? I don't know. Class A is going to be interesting because you have 2 guys not in the Unidome who have maybe better stats, and then 2 guys who are in the Unidome that have lesser stats because they were on better teams and they won more handedly, and now they get a chance to try and carry their team to a state title. So interesting dynamic here in Class A, especially. Not that there isn't for every class, because there is, but that's all I got for Class A. Again, pause it if you need to. Class 8-man finalists. 8-man's always tough because so many guys just put up such good numbers. These are the 4 that our 8-man ranker went with: Nolan Kriegel, Broden Pryor, Tate Forge, and Keegan Lee. 2 of these guys obviously in the Unidome. Audubon and Gladbrook, the 2 teams that did not get a guy on this list. Gladbrook, I would argue, because it's because they spread the wealth so much. I mean, you could have gone Mathern, you could have gone Hudson Clark, you could have gone Trayvon Heron. All 3 of those guys have been fantastic, and none of them have had to be a 100% go-to guy. So obviously those guys don't get a team on, and Audubon has just been dismantling everybody and maybe don't have the stats that everyone else has. So again, nothing against those 2 teams. I just think it was harder to find a standout candidate on those guys. So that's where Nolan Kriegel and Keegan Lee fit in, or guys who have had excellent regular seasons and really separated themselves in the stat category. But yeah, Broden Pryor of Woodbine, Tate Forge of Bishop Garrigan, going to get a chance at the Unidome to really put on a show as far as the eye test in front of our rankers and try and secure this. But Mr. IAfootball is the last thing they're worried about when they're playing at the Unidome. But that's what I got. 20 minutes of Mr. IAfootball finalists. Again, congrats to all of the finalists. I will put this, let me put this up. Again, head over to Rockfin. Our finalists for all of these individual awards are going to be live on Rockfin on Tuesday when you're seeing this. And again, drop us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. We're going to have daily and constant updates at the Unidome. I'm going to not be with IAfootball. I'm going to be doing some work for the association. I'm super excited for that. But our guys at IAfootball are going to have it handled greatly. Say hi to them. Say hi to me. Whatever it is. We love meeting you guys. We love talking to you guys. And I mean, this is the culmination of a fantastic year of high school football. So I'll see you guys after the Unidome for our award show. And if I see you at the Unidome again, I'm excited. Going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to have a ton of content. Those IAfootball guys are going to crush it while I'm out doing other things. So again, thanks for stopping in. We'll see you on Wednesday if you're going to be there, or whatever day you're going to be at the Dome. And I will see you after the Dome for the award show. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.